Hi, I'm Chris from Johnson Plastics Plus, and today we're going to walk through how to load the media in the Epson F570 printer. So to load the roll paper in your new Epson F570 printer, we're going to look back at the top loading hatch here, fold back the first half of it, then we can get to the locking mechanism. We'll open that up as well. Inside we'll have our bar that we'll load our roll media onto. We're just going to lift that out. And looking at the bar for a minute, there is a fixed side that's black in color, and then there's a non-fixed side that is clear in color. We're going to take the clear side off. Just slide it right off. Take our media roll, making sure that the media is going over top of the roll. Slide it onto the bar. And when we do this, we want to make sure that the edge of the media is going to go flush up against the stopper of the fixed side here. So we'll just kind of press that into there. Make sure it's flush. Get the paper back. And then we will take our clear side, and we want to make sure that this side goes on the bar and goes into the core of the paper. So we'll slide it on this way. And we'll slide that into the core and make it flush as well. And before we place it back in the printer, we're going to double check to make sure that our media is flush on both sides of the end caps here. And just adjust it as needed. All right, and then we'll go ahead and drop our media back into the printer. And we can rotate this a little if we need to. We'll go and take our end of our paper and we're going to feed it down into the printer past the white rollers. And we'll keep rolling until the printer beeps at us, signifying us to stop. Once it beeps, we can then close the top cover and the front of that as well. Then we will be able to confirm what kind of paper we're running in the printer, and if we need to, we can change the setting here. But if we're happy with it, we'll just hit the OK button. And now we come back to the ready screen and we're ready to print. So now we're going to do a paper change. We're going to change to a different media, and to do that we first want to tell the printer that we want to take out the current media that's in the printer, and we'll do that by going to the paper settings button. We'll select our roll paper, and in this screen we'll select the remove button, and that will unlock the paper from inside the printer. So now we can go back, open the top cover. We're going to roll our paper back so that the end of the paper is out of the printer. Pull the roll out. We're going to just take off our end cap here. Set that aside, pull our paper roll off. And then we will take our new media and load it just the same way we loaded the paper before. Oops. And we're going to make sure that the end of the media is slid up and flush against that side there. We'll take our clear side and put it on just like we did before, making sure that this goes inside the core of the paper. Slide it in and make sure it's flush here and there as well. Just need to make a small adjustment. Squeeze it together there. So once we have our end caps in place, we'll drop our replacement roll media into the printer, get the end of the paper, and again roll it forward, roll the end of the paper into the printer until the printer beeps and tells us to stop. There he goes. And then we will close the top cover, close the front, and then on the touch screen it'll ask us what paper type it is, and if we need to change that we can. Then we'll just hit the OK button, and the printer will then continue the loading process. So in some cases with some media, it may be required that we need to set up a custom paper type in the printer menus. So to do that, we're going to go to the Settings button, we'll go to the General Settings, we'll go to the Printer Settings, and we're going to go to the Custom Paper Setting button. And in here we'll have a list of up to 10 different presets for different custom media we can set up. So you just want to select the one that you want to use. We'll select 2 in this case, and in here is where we can set the settings for this specific preset. We can give it a name. We can change the reference paper. So if we wanted to reference a specific paper for some of the settings, we can change that there. We can go to our Advanced Media Setting button, and in here is where we can select several options that are important to different types of paper depending on the thickness of the paper and other aspects like that. So we have our platen gap. We can adjust our margins if we want to. We have our back tension, which sometimes needs adjusted depending on the type of paper. And then also we can adjust our drying time, which is where the paper may need to dry a little bit before it comes out of the end of the printer in case the ink takes a little bit longer to set inside the paper. So once we set our settings there, and we're happy with everything, we can simply back out of the menu, or we can even just hit the home button, go back to the home screen. So to select our custom paper type, we'll go to our paper setting, go to the roll paper, scroll down to change paper type, and then we'll select our paper type, and then in here we can select our recently used paper presets, or we can hit others. We'll select custom paper, and then we can select from our list of our presets that we just set up, and then we can select the one that we need for the job. And once we do that, hit the home button, we're back to our ready screen and we're ready to print. You can find the Epson F570 printer as well as everything you need for sublimation at our website, jpplus.com. I'm Chris. Thanks again for watching.